So we'll see that team performing in pairs. So let's go for the map veto here as we pull it up on the board, and let's see which maps. There we go. Bank's got to be removed, as well as Consulate. FaZe Clan played Consulate last week versus Team Liquid, where they were able to pick up a victory, and Bank was played by Black Dragons. So Clubhouse will be BD's first ban.
Not Oregon again.
It makes a lot of sense. Coastline and Villa, and usually this goes to Villa, and
yeah,
is it actually going to happen?
It's most likely Coastline, but nope.
Yes.
Villa. All right. Well, this is only the second time, I believe, it's been played in Latin America. I think 2 is kind of the maximum across all the regions in terms of played. Neither of these teams have played it, though. It was in an earlier match. But it was an interesting one, and I'm really curious to see how these guys play, because we've seen, for example, when EU plays it, they play very differently than NA, which Latin America also plays it different than the other regions. So while there are certain bomb sites that lend to certain things, it's going to be different for Latin America.
One game I highly recommend for anybody that wants to learn anything about Villa is to take a look at Millennium versus IDK in EU Pro League just last week.
Yeah,
they had a beautiful game on Villa, and from start to finish, every single strategy was different to the standard that we saw in the first couple play days of Villa.
Yeah.
That third time it was played in Pro League really was a banger. I always highlighted the bedroom, and today I will not stop doing that because it is such a strong position.
You've been warned.
But we'll put up the community vote here. That's going to turn into my new complaining about Mira positions.
The bedroom.
It really is. 69% for FaZe Clan.
Honestly surprised that it isn't stronger for FaZe Clan versus Black Dragons. The matchup we just saw was like very, very much in favor of Liquid versus Team 1, whereas that should have been a lot more even. That should have been more like this, if not more even, whereas that's a lot of faith in Black Dragons here.
Black Dragons still have a substantial fan base in Brazil.
We have talked about before, there is the case that sometimes we do wonder if some of these votes are the case of people mistaking it for the old Black Dragons, which, you know, we saw a vote last time that made me think that was the case. Could be the case today, could not be. A lot of people might just be seeing potential there that has yet to be tapped.
Yeah, we'll get to see how that plays out. I definitely don't see it going in any other way than FaZe Clan. But really, this is, I think, is a bit of a mistake from FaZe Clan to take it into Villa.
I think it's, we were talking about the saving strats earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the case of like, we're not playing Villa really, so let's play on a map where we're not going to show anything. Is a possibility. Or this
anything you show on Villa at this point is
a surprise.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, or it could even be the other way around. Like I was saying about potentially using it as a way to scrim this map and get some idea how to play it. Practice it beforehand, not necessarily use your full strats or even necessarily the ones you're sure of, but get some idea how the map plays out in a serious match. Because there is a chance this will get played in Paris, because the oddball maps do get brought out the most, but a Monty ban, interesting choice there by Black Dragons.
Oh, FaZe Clan can do it. We've seen some great Monty plays as well on this map.
Yeah.
Meepy played it as well.
I don't know if it was super effective, but he definitely tried it. Eventually gave up on it.
I think teams have kind of started to realize that C4 from underneath
kind of strong
plays very well, especially when you're attacking. If you're attacking into trophy and into statuary room, the C4s from below can definitely hinder you. We've seen a lot of plays with the Bandit. Livin especially has done that. Even IDK on their defense, when they're defending an Aviator in game room, they've had some pre-placed spots for those C4s to deal with shield, whether it be Fuse or Monty, and the Vigil will get to take it out, as this is still kind of a roaming map because maybe the region hasn't really figured it out. I think in Europe especially, it kind of has had some sort of a standard flow to it so far, but you know what? I am always happy to go to very romantic Tuscany and have some fun on Villa, because this map, unlike any other, is fairly easy to figure out in its basics. You can tell the power positions in the map instantly.
It's fairly
just by looking at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the nice things is when it's introduced quickly into Pro League like the way it was, it's in a way that it's not too baffling to play. But like you said, teams are still trying to settle on the meta for it in terms of like, as a roamer, if the attack strategy isn't fully settled down to this is how we clear the map, it gives the roamer the possibility to kind of be, you know, flexible in it and how they play it. So we'll see.
And defuse as many bombs as they can.
So we'll see. Mav going to be on that Legion. Hopefully he's going to be able to get a chance to get some of those good mines out in that long hallway that you see there. because they don't have any way to easily spot those, but they do have Drunks there on the Twitch. Could potentially spot some of those going down the hallway itself.
Yeah, so again, this is, I guess, time for me to ramble.
The bedroom, yeah.
The bedroom. Just hold the bedroom. Attack the bedroom. It is so important to pretty much every single site you
Just
push
wait till they play downstairs. You'll have to hear about the bathroom.
5 seconds to insertion.
And even the bedroom, it's so strong as well because it gives you control of astronomy. You have control of astronomy. You can shoot down anything that is downstairs. Having Jackal, having Buck, huge operators on here, and Buck especially here. I love seeing this when you're attacking into statuary and into the trophy room. So and a trophy kind of, you know, being exchanged, one trophy for another. So we'll get to see what plays out here. One thing I'm interested to see as well is if they opened up that center panel looking down at the drop, and they did not. This is something that Millennium did, and it worked out perfectly for them because they were able to always rotate down when pressure comes.
Yeah, that red hallway, skylight hallway thing is definitely nice to be able to rotate too. But there's that bedroom that you like so much. Definitely been taken over quick.
Yeah, it's not just because I like sleeping. It's because it really is a strong position. And the odd thing is that Thermite is not played, which would have been a much easier operator to have. But you look at that, Castle, your cameraman is bringing impact, so you can easily throw impacts above. And the instant he hears the drill from the Exkyros, we should hear him.
Yeah, hear it going off now.
There you go. But no, they keep drilling. It's very low on the ground, and you can't hit it. I think you have to bounce it off the bottom. Maybe you'll be able to get an angle off.
There's probably some tricks for the bottom that people just haven't really demonstrated yet or figured out.
We saw the Thermite. I think it was Elems that did it last week.
That's right. Yeah, the low Thermite to try and avoid impact nading.
Yeah. Oh, the shot. That's two now. One for Levy, one for Slash. And cameraman trying to find the long angle with the UMP. He'll do a lot of damage, but unfortunately UMP at distance, if you're not hitting headshots, it won't be easy to finish. Moringa, speaking of headshots, will get one. It's very important as well to hold from the opposite end of the site where Gohan is in trophy, looking down into the bedroom exit. Because, oh boy, RDZ will spot the legs, but he can't get the kill off of it. Drunksy trying to contest up into astronomy, but he'll be the last one alive. Just falls back into the hallway, try to find the angle on the Maestro, but Gohan will just fall back. Right stairs, step here by Drunksy. He's got 38 seconds on the clock. Dual Mine will hit, and unfortunately for him, that'll be the time for Gohan to pounce as he gets the last kill. That's a pretty great start for Gohan. Minimum of 3 kills there being landed by his Maestro as he hip fires the Twitch away.
Well, that's what happens when you don't ban Maestro. There's no Echo or Maestro ban, so definitely expecting to see both of those operators played a bit here, especially on this map. I think Maestro has definitely got some good spots. So we'll see. I don't know if the Lion or the Vigil ban was the best one, but it was the same time, you know, that was done by FaZe, so obviously they're not banning their own operators of both Echo and Maestro since they're playing both of them this round. So it's a case where obviously they wanted to use them, so not wanting to ban those, and that was Black Dragons being the one stuck on that. We'll see that they're going to go to Aviator Games this time, is now that they've won trophy. Those are the two, I would say, most favored bomb sites, but we have seen plenty of teams, especially teams like Vitality, who are willing to play more off-bomb sites, willing to play both Library and Kitchen. We will potentially see those start to kind of jockey for position as the third best bomb site. I feel like Kitchen maybe is right now, but that could definitely change. And there's a little 6-pick to Legion, as well as one over to Zofia. So they are definitely trying to trip it up a little bit, but again, not going to bring the Thermite, something you mentioned earlier. Can be useful on this bomb site as well because you can open up quite a bit of the wall. They didn't really seem to need necessarily a Thermite last time, but the impact grenades, you know, it makes it really hard to Thermite. So I can understand why Thermite just might not be a thing so much on this map unless you bring double hard breachers.
Located by attackers.
Just because otherwise you don't have a lot of way to deny them impact nading it. It's not like you can bring a Jaeger on attack to stop them.
Don't give him ideas, Devin.
Right, all right. He's just got a baseball catcher's mitt. Just catches him. You just hold down melee and he'll catch any grenades that come near him.
Well, keep in mind that now you can't throw grenades back.
That's true. That's why he'd be the one operator with that
I watched Pojo's
Yeah,
latest
Adam.
digest
Oh.
with Adam. Oh my god, classic Adam move.
Yeah, that was good. And that's why you don't do it anymore.
Well, again, very important. This is something that IDK showed us in their matchup.
Yeah.
Even when you were gonna push the game room, don't push all of your 5 players from the main stairs and from the office.
Now,
Go-
study and bedroom.
Yeah, you need to push. You need to have at least one player holding the study, just in case there's somebody that pushes around there or tries to rotate from the hallway from the stairs. But the other 3 players minimum should be pushing in from the bedroom and from trophy, and that's exactly what Black Dragons will do. I have to say, beautiful bit of play here.
Nice thing is the study itself is fairly easy to control, so you don't need a ton of people on that side. So you can just, like you said, kind of hold it, and then have your people push from the other side. Take astronomy, as you see them doing right now, for example. Help control at least the top of that stairwell. They're able to take control of the trophy and statuary rooms pretty fast as well. I gotta say, at least Black Dragon's attacks don't seem to be too slow. They're managing to get a decent amount of map control quickly. They seem to have the attack down decent. Unfortunately, no, not the camera killed Yokai. A lot more valuable than a default cam, Drunks. He's gonna potentially go for the shots, though, from a prone position without needing to use his shock drone. But still, like I said, the Yokai way more valuable than a default cam.
You see the Jaeger here waiting for information from his teammate, the Echo. He'll fall back. Did they reinforce the wall from... I'm not sure if they reinforced the wall in the vault from the hallway.
Yeah, that's definitely an important one, as we've seen what happens when you blow that. It pretty much forces you to evacuate that and not be able to use that as a rotation between the 2 rooms.
Exactly, and the only rotation you'll have is the impact hole that is between game room and aviation.
Which funnels you.
Yes, very much the case.
There, nope, it looks like it's open. So.
Okay.
Well, they can use that to their advantage right now until they lose control of this room.
Which is very much an eventuality, I guess, and there you go.
Wow, how did he lose that fight?
I don't know. Slash will get the kill on the Maestro. You see the Jaeger rotating in from behind. That's Astro. You see the huge rotation hole that was set up here for a FaZe clan. Astro coming in from behind from the trophy room. FaZe will have to delay things as long as possible. Drunks coming in from below. Will push from the main stairs. But does Astro know? Oh, yes, he does. Here we go. That's what? No, there's so many in front of him. He bites way more than he can chew, but that's 2 kills to hip fire. Astro, are you kidding me? He'll get the kill. Drunks will get 1, though, off of the rotation of the main stairs. And we'll have to walk into the aviator room with all guns pointed right at him. And there's not much that he can do with the knife out. Cameraman gets the final shot. The flank of a lifetime right there.
Definitely some good plays, some desperate plays.
How does he do that?
Wow, a lot of interesting moves there. I feel like BD still have a good attack. Like their attack is not severely flawed in itself, but they're just not winning enough of their gunfights. That 2v1 against Astro absolutely should have gone in Black Dragon's favor.
It was so exposed. There's no way in hell.
I feel like that was just so much dancing around. He was like Matrix dodging bullets at that point. It was so close.
Hey. I know there's a lot of very good video editors out there, so hey, please, can we have that clip taken out again, but also implement the same
bullet time?
No, just have the same angle from the Matrix movie, where Neo's dodging all the bullets.
Absolutely.
And it's just put it was Astro, right? Put Astro's head, his face on Neo as he's dodging all the bullets and falling back.
Yeah.
Basically what happened there. All right, we go back to reality. Snap back to reality. Up to Ghost Gravity. So we'll see what happens here in the kitchen and dining defenses. Yet again, Devin, you know what's an important place when attacking this? Say it with me.
Pantry.
God damn it. The bedroom.
Yeah. Well, I mean again, that's about top floor control, which is kind of a standard for many maps, especially while this is technically a 3-floor map. It is played mostly as a 2-floor map. There are times we have seen plays go down to the basement, and this is a bomb site that lends itself to that more because of that direct access to the pantry you see Gohan using right now. Because of that, you can rotate a bit more, but it is risky. because it is somewhat predictable, and a lot of teams I don't think have really figured out how to use the other rotates very effectively yet to the other sets of stairs. Over time, as you said, as people figure out the map, I feel like downstairs rotations will become more important. It reminds me of, for example, when you see teams playing Trophy and Wine Cellar, or I'm sorry, Trophy and Kitchen in Chalet, how often they would use the downstairs for rotates and fight that, even though that was, that wasn't 2 floors down, but still, it's, I don't know, or maybe Console's a better example of when people are playing downstairs all the way in the garage when Console, meeting room, is the actual bomb site. But it's one that I think favors the defenders for rotating because it's harder for the attackers to access using those outside access points without using some kind of explosive to open those wine barrels. So because of that, chances are they're not going to waste the utility on that you're going to get free rotations in there. We'll see, though, if that does manifest itself over time. But Gohan holding a nice long angle, taking advantage of his ACOG play back against what is the
bike storage.
A bit of a push, yeah.
All right, Slash somehow surviving that as he goes back. He'll trade off the same amount of damage onto Gohan. So an equilibrium. Now, it reminds me of playing CS Italy, the music here in the back. Gohan will push in to counter the laundry, but there's nobody coming in from there. Why? Because the Buck is busy taking out the floorboards from upstairs.
Someone needs to. Definitely the case where, obviously, vertical play could be a big factor in this match, but teams are just slowly figuring out the different angles to use. And you do have to be careful when you're trying to make vertical plays and you don't necessarily have the right angles. Oh, good absorption there, but the ADS also catches the flash. So that definitely helps, though. The more they can burn those, the more the vertical play can work in their favor. But yeah, that is a bummer. It's still 2 frag grenades, though, in hand for Buck. However, Slash taking down the smoke early is a good early, but there's still a Maestro and an Echo left.
I believe that was the impact grenades now being removed for FaZe Clan. Maybe the smoke was bringing those to try and impact any equipment up top, as there is no other operator that can bring those on the table for FaZe on the defense. Slash will come in from the back stairs. As he tries to poke in instantly, though, Mav is ready for him, and he can just fall back down into the wine cellar. And a pick from Astro. He just does not stop. Keeps moving around the map and putting Black Dragons on their feet. As you mentioned, Black Dragons aren't doing anything bad per se. It's just that they're playing very standard here. And FaZe Clan are able to catch them off guard with constant roam. And there you go. The last one will get shot down. That's Astro going down, but he trades it against his opponents of Black Dragons. And honestly, if this strategy of roaming around, it will work here, but I don't know if it's worth revealing it for the Paris Major.
I don't know if it's necessarily even a strategy of roaming. It's just more just like they feel comfortable just moving around because they're winning so many of their gunfights. They seem to know quite a bit of the angles, and they're playing speed a bit too. You see them when they poke out, they're moving out quickly. They're not necessarily slow peeking corners and things like that. They get some intel. They just play confidently because they have that gun skill just to be able to push out like that, and confidence does help with that because you can catch a lot of people by surprise. I'm just glad that FaZe started on defense, which means we get to see a lot more bomb sites, because let's say Black Dragons had started on defense and there was a chance that it was a sweep 5 rounds in a row for FaZe on attack, then we would only see 2 bomb sites at that point, or 1, I'm sorry. So in this case, we get to see more. It's nice. We'll see if they win yet again on the trophy statuary, because they've at least shown something on it, but a 6 pick to Bandit there is going to make sure they are caught off guard without a Thatcher or anything to try and take that out.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
So far, though, of course, they have won all 3 of their bomb sites, and they will probably play Aviator after this again if they win this. So we'll probably not see Kitchen again or even Library at all from these guys. But you never know. We could see that from Black Dragons, and there could be some comeback from them.
All right. It's always interesting to see Villa being played. There's always some interesting strategies that are being put on board.
Yeah, it'll take time, much like Coastline. Yeah,
and even to this day, we still see some interesting plays set up on Coastline. It definitely, Matt said, still have a lot to be explored. And, you know, these niche strategies, you always settle into a certain meta, but settling into a meta is different than actually having a tried and tested strategy that kind of evolves over time, has some quirks that are set up in between it, maybe relying a lot on teamwork to make things happen. Timing attacks as well are very possible in the future. We'll get to see more of that on Villa, I am sure.
Hopefully.
Right, Jacqueline's going to be played, and this is a good reaction from Black Dragons.
I was just about to mention that too. That combined with the Dokkaebi seems like they finally want to deal with those roamers you were just talking about, which is a smart adaptation because, like we said, their attack itself isn't terrible. They have pretty good strategy in terms of map control and take, but they don't really turn that into being able to actually put pressure on the roamers to be able to win their gunfights. The angles, again, see, it seems like FaZe are very comfortable in this map in terms of knowing how to play it well. I don't think this was a throwaway map for them. I think this is one they definitely have strategies for.
And you should. If you're one of the top Pro League teams in your region, you really should be prepared for anything that gets thrown against you, especially if you're going to LAN. Literally.
You're probably going to have to play it over a lot of matches. If you make it through groups, you have even more matches to play after that.
There we go. The Maestro camera Evil Eye will get taken down. So I'm a much bigger fan, as we mentioned before, to set up the Evil Eye on the statue in the back.
Of course, as you say that, then Evil Eye, the Maestro dies.
Oh boy. It's all that Evil Eye's fault. And what an angle from Levy. Get the kill on Astro, and that's a pretty big advantage for Black Dragons on a round that really, they really need the Bandit though from Cameraman. It will make it work, and that's the X-Kairos taken down. I'm not sure if that was 2 sets or only 1.
Yeah, it looked like just 1 set of 6, but that was a good 6th pick then, switching on the Bandit because they were not expecting it. They were expecting more of the impact nade trick, so good switch on them. But so far, advantage to Black Dragons. They could actually win this now.
We'll try to push in from the bathroom as Cameraman yet again will use his shock wire to shut down 1 set of Kairos. Though from the back he gets pushed in the bathroom. Still, Mav will get the kill on to Docky, trying to slow it down. Moringa, what a shot to take down Slash, but it's Drunks to get the last 2 on Moringa and Mav. And the SMG-12 working out perfectly for the Dokkaebi in tandem with the calls. Playing around tight angle. What is that? I love that final shot. See, not even needing the standard grip on the SMG-12, putting in an angle grip just for the faster ADS time.
Well, definitely good adaptations there from Black Dragons, bringing out the Dokkaebi and the Jackal to be able to put a lot more pressure on the roamers. Not to mention some good shots as well. We saw the one from above right down onto the, I believe it was Jaeger, trying to watch an angle upwards. Some other good plays. A lot of counterplay going back and forth with the Bandit over trying to open that wall, but nonetheless, in that meantime, they were putting pressure on him with the phone calls as well as flashbanging him. So all that combined, they definitely seemed to be a little more effective, and they were able to actually turn their solid early map control into actual pressure that time, and I think that's the big difference. Can they repeat that again? Hard to say, but definitely a chance we could come out of their attack phases in a 3-2 situation, bringing a little bit of a 6th pick themselves there.
I remember when Dokkaebi was first revealed in Brazil at Operation White Noise, and everybody's like, it's just going to be such a useless operator. And no.
Yeah. I don't know. Definitely currently in the meta.
Definitely so. We've seen her banned quite a bit. She is one of the top attacker picks as well, especially in Latin America. And be prepared to see a lot more of this Dokkaebi in the Paris Major.
I'm just glad to see Jackal making a small resurgence. Although it is interesting, like you said, to see the PDW being used.
I'm surprised because the C7E kind of has less recoil after the patch now.
Yeah.
Which is odd. I don't know how the C7E can even have less recoil, but it does.
Right, it was already pretty nutty. We'll see though. They are going to have the ability to track all of those roamers yet again. We'll see if they can do some kind of counter intel here with the yokai that's being set up downstairs. He did bring the Supernova, so he's not going to be playing those long angles, as they're shotgunning a lot of wall here.
Oh, God.
Definitely trying to open up some lines of sight between the 2 rooms. I imagine we'll see a pretty standard attack again here from Black Dragons in terms of controlling both the study as well as the bedroom. They're already droning out the bedroom and bathroom fairly quickly to get that control. And now it's all down to the study. Hopefully they spawned ruins to take that quickly, because otherwise, you know, that could be kind of slow. And you want to take control of that room early so they can't rotate through it.
All right. We'll see Cameraman trying to feed information off of his yokai, as the second one will get set up as well to control the hallway. And it is facing in the back. So they're expecting Black Dragons to play the same way as before, get into the bedroom, push in from Statue and Trophy, and from there to come into the L hallway. And it really does work out fine, but you still have to be afraid of Astro on the roam, as we've seen what he does when he's left to his own devices.
And that's why you're seeing the Jackal tracking already paying off. You see at least one ping going off. Not sure which operator it is, but yeah, might be the one you were just talking about. They are getting some... it looks like it might be someone on site, so might not be getting as much of effectiveness out of it, but they still have at least one, if not two, logic bomb calls left to make.
You hear the Hibana already setting up with 2x Kairos being thrown in. There is the third one. Yokai will get spotted and taken down. His cameraman will be forced off of it for just a second. And there we go. They'll have 2 of the Yokais connecting, not the third. 2 of the Xeris, not the third one. And is that the second hover drone?
I think so. I think they might all be down at this point, which is going to force the cameraman to have to use his bearing 9 because he brought just the shotgun. I mean, I guess he could play the doorway with the shotgun. Looks like he might be. Or just going for the long angle down the hallway. Almost could catch Levy there.
Drunk's just making sure nobody comes in from behind, as the first gas canister will get expended. You see even the smoke running the impact grenades for very good reason. You want to impact any utility that your opponents use. However, there's only one set of Xkyros, and you know, 2 were already used up to take down the wall looking into the vault. This is why you'd like to have a bandit as well on the defense just in case, or even a mute. Gohan will spray in, and this time he will connect. He'll get 1 kill, though that's now 2 in the way of FaZe, as Doki only able to get 1. Levy last alive as he goes in for the plant. The smoke will cover him for just a bit as he tries to play the angle games against his opponents, but he will get spotted as he rotates back out into the landing for the L hallway. Will get shot down by cameraman. The bearing 9, more than enough to save the round, and Gohan will put the fourth round on the board here at the end of the first half.
Definitely impressive plant there by Levy, as he was able to get the plant down despite all his teammates saying around him, but unfortunately was not able to win, as you said, the gunfight down the long hallway. So unfortunate, they were not able to turn it into a second round. That means 4-1 going into this next one. So this is looking much like we saw previously with Liquid Team 1, but Team 1 managed to come back a bit. So it did end up in a tie. Could see something similar here if Black Dragons have a good defense game. Or if, you know, for whatever reason, FaZe doesn't have a great attack. Hard to say, though, how it'll go down. As we have just now switched sides, we're going to start in Trophy Aviator, which is where FaZe also started. So for this region, I'm guessing that seems to be the meta. We have seen quite a few teams start there. I feel like early on, Aviator game was kind of the original primary, but I feel like as teams have kind of seen some of the weaknesses of it in terms of how much it could be attacked, like that last round, they are favoring Trophy a little bit more. A little bit of 6th pick there over to Echo, so they are going to take advantage of that as well.
It is a great site. One thing you have to watch if you're Black Dragons is a push from the bathroom, as we saw them execute that exact same attack in the one round that they were able to put on the board against FaZe Clan. Even though FaZe Clan 6-picked into a bandit, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So that was the thing that kind of threw them off, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe at this point, just you got to find a better way to hold the bedroom and bathroom. Some way to counter it. And I mean, you can use some mute jammers, but it is difficult to try and jam them well enough when they can just throw drones in windows.
Exactly.
Because they have that catwalk outstairs, and that is the advantage of some of those windows, I think, and that's what part of the reason bedroom is a good primary as well as studies. You have those outside landings you can use to kind of prep your entry in, do some droning in a somewhat safe scenario. And that's an important part of having early map controls, being able to drone in safely without getting killed.
Doki will set up the yokai in the bedroom. So with the fact that we haven't really been seeing any IQ play, it kind of combos very well. Because now you can't easily detect the yokai that is set up in the room, just to have info and keep a beat on those attackers, sneaky attackers coming into the site. Drone hole will be used by Moringa to watch for Drunksy, and you can actually find him here, but unfortunately does not get the spot on the feet to take him out, or at least do some damage against the Bandito. So, go, just keep on watching. Moringa, he's got a lot of upper body strength, I have to say.
Yeah, it's a heck of a lift. He is going to find Drunks, though, and Gohan also trying to drone behind him with the shock drone. needs to find those batteries, trying to keep the drone safe because obviously Bandit is going to want to shoot that. We'll see if they're able to get any utility down with that. Slash on the roam down here in the kitchen, pushing his way to potentially get some setup towards some windows. Drunk's actually not giving up this bathroom easily at all.
No, because it is, again, part of that attack. It's the easiest flank for you to hold because there's so many odd angles for the defenders that can play around in, whereas the attackers really have to put themselves out in the open to get a fight. And you know, the best way to do it, of course, as the attacker, is to set yourself up on the astronomy window. And there you can counter it. We've seen people like in Millennium that were doing it with Yogurts. And Cameraman will find the first kill onto Slash, eliminating the Jaeger.
Definitely a lot slower of attack than Black Dragons had, and how long it's taking them to get in and get that map control we were talking about early on. So I got to say Black Dragons a bit more efficient, but a lot more droning coming out from FaZe as well. So they could be setting up for a swift execute once they actually have all the intel information. But the fact that there's Yokais and Legion mines still left around could make that hard.
This is the traditional FaZe playstyle that get a pick or two, and then they stop the aggression for a solid minute. And then suddenly they descend upon you with the great wrath. And this might just be what FaZe are trying to do, though. We'll find the angle from Levy. That's Moringa that will go down. That's your only hard destructor. So
now as well.
Now taking control of multiple hallways and multiple entrances on the site just means that they're the only way for you to even push in.
The fact that they have yet to pick up the diffuser with 22 seconds left here is leading me to believe they're going to have to win their fights very quickly, or this is actually going to be a defensive win here for Black Dragons.
Although, as you say, that 2 kills will go the way of FaZe Clan. It's up to Drunks and Docky. Docky does have the MP5 and the Bearing 9, and speaking of which, he'll get one on a Cameraman. And that's the Dokkaebi out on the floor. Try to go in for the plant, but Drunks is coming in from behind. He can deny it all right there. And with no time left, as Black Dragons will put round number 6 up on the board, puts them at a 4-2. And remember our last matchup when it suddenly started to climb back up?
Yep, it's starting to look familiar. And this is the case too, like I said, that FaZe just had a much slower push. And it's not, like, that's fine to have a slow push, right, if you have a fast execute at the end. But at the same time, they didn't get a ton of map control early, the way we saw Black Dragons do. And losing the diffuser on Moringa and not picking it up right away left them in the situation you saw at the end there. To be fair, though, they did get it down to just Drunks left. But he was in a good position because he was so far away from the actual bomb site. I mean, not far, like as in like across the map, but he wasn't like directly sitting on the bomb site trying to guard it. He was a bit off-site trying to hold the diffuser itself as much as possible, as long as possible. It definitely paid off, and I think overall, whether or not FaZe win this map, I feel like FaZe, you know, ultimately probably will, just off of their gunplay. I do feel like Black Dragons seem to know this map pretty well. Both these teams do. And I think this is making for a very good Villa matchup overall. Some good strategies being used, some solid stuff. Some of the stuff you've mentioned, you know, being kind of the linchpins of it. And it seems like both teams are at least playing fairly effectively. The roam itself has kind of been variable in terms of how effective that's been, and we've seen counters to that in the case of Dokkaebi and Jackal as well, with mixed effect, as well as we've seen some good impact denials and batteries and things like that. So overall, this feels like a more fleshed out map in this matchup than sometimes we've seen it before, and it's been a bit more rough. Cameraman looking good there.
Maybe take a picture of that board.
Either way, though, Slash, they're pretty. I mean, it's only. I mean, it's a pretty big point difference and a lot of frag difference. But overall, like I said, I feel like Black Dragons have again the potential to win it, but they just never seem to be able to close anything out in their favor. And unfortunately, it does kind of feel like we're seeing a bit of that again from them. So if they could just close out some rounds like the way they did that last round, maybe they could claw this back. Maybe. I mean, it's not match point yet, so definitely a possibility here.
We'll see now. The smoke for BD is not bringing impacts, and FaZe Clan are still not bringing a thermite, afraid of the impact trick that has been so prevalent. Remind you, if you don't know what it is, because we're still getting a lot of questions around it, once you have the thermite to try and take down a reinforced wall, if it's a 4-meter high wall, then you can blow up the top side of it and chuck an impact grenade at the top. Because the thermite to charge only has 1 HP coded in the game, it blows up because of that impact. The damage from it. Now, what some players have done is place it at crouch level on the edge of a wall, and it actually works. The thermite charge does not get shot down, but it still opens up the entire wall.
Yeah, it's definitely a case where just being smart about how you counter it is definitely important, but over time we'll see kind of a bit of back and forth in that in terms of how people figure it out. Here's the classic vertical play of attacking from below to take out the jammers so they can start to open this up, and that's exactly what Moringa is going to do, is start to open up 2 angles right on in to the site.
We'll have those angles to play with, and a third one, of course, to use is something that was being used against FaZe Clan by Black Dragons, which is taking control of the gun safe by opening up from the hallway. You'll see the Jaeger trying to contest here, that slash, to make sure nobody takes that hallway, but what a shot from Gohan. He'll get the kill as he spots the yokai as it's running away. There you go, get shot at the end.
What a stack up on these stairs, though. Definitely could get killed by a potential C4, although I don't think anyone's going to venture out far enough. That and Levy trying to face check that, not the best idea. I think he might have also missed that smoke throw. Not sure if he was using it for cover or trying to actually get out through the holes.
A grenade being thrown right into him. As he's trying to contest into the patio. Unfortunately, he won't find any damage. Really only eating a bunch of it. The Ash will get one here from Cameraman. As gas grenades or gas canisters will get thrown into the back. Doki maneuvering his yokai. You see all the goo mines are set in the back and not at the front push. FaZe going for a more aggressive frontal assault, and that's the 3 taken down at the end. FaZe with a perfect round.
Well, that is their first attack round win, although it was, I guess, pretty close that last round as well. But that puts it on match point here. So if we don't see any more comeback rounds here from Black Dragons, then it is over for them. And they, again, sit down at 2 points. They need this so much more than FaZe does right now. We'll see. They are going to try Aviator yet again. They had an okay defensive strategy for it, but it did seem to get picked apart, partially due to the vertical play. You saw, for example, FaZe actually did a good job clearing the bottom floor first, using that to get vertical control to attack from below, to clear out the mute jammers. And in doing so, open up the wall. Is Mav actually going to bring this glass? Should be interesting to see. They are not bringing any kind of wall denial right now. There could be a 6th pick over to a bandit or a mute. Or maybe they're just deciding it's not worth it. Let's just try and impact it instead. No, Mav is just faking it. He's actually good. There we go. That's the good counterplay. The 6th pick's definitely doing their job there. The bandit coming out and the Thatcher counter to him. Neither of them know, but they'll find out within about the next minute and a half. So that's always fun.
Yeah, there we go. He'll stick it. So Ash attacking from below will be even more important.
Attackers need to
well, in this case, I think the Thatcher, if they don't have the impact nades to be able to counter it, the Thatcher will probably be enough if he's not able to bandit trick it well. But yeah, chances are pressure from below combined with the Thatcher will make it very, very hard for Drunks to deny it.
Attackers have located a bomb.
We'll see though. The smoke could have impact nades, but I believe he was not bringing them before, as you mentioned, so chances are he did not switch it up. In that case, that leaves them in a bit of a problem. I mean, the barbed wire is helpful because FaZe can play for those quick executes towards the end, and having the barbed wire, forcing them to waste utility to clear it out instead of using that utility to get kills, is a good thing for slowing that down. You saw, for example, the amount of barbed wire to try and slow down a push from the back there. Not to mention they do that with the goo mines you mentioned previously. But I don't know if slowdowns are really doing much for you. They're winning on angle fights.
What? There you go. It's like, hey guys, did you forget to reinforce?
Yeah, you got 4 batteries there, bro. You need to get those up.
Didn't reinforce it.
Yeah, he's like, I'll come back up when you guys put the metal walls there. Well, either way,
it happens.
Yeah, he's set up now. It's only been like 30 seconds ish.
We're going to need a bit of a wider hole there for the rotation. Make sure you don't shoot your own teammate, please. Yeah.
He still has yet to set up the batteries. Now, I imagine they're not going to try and push this super quick, but they could jump in his study and start opening that wall fairly quickly. Still have enough time to bandit trick it, but they also have the shock drone as well, so they might not even need the vertical play if they're able to stop bandit with just the shock drone itself. Plenty of ways for them to open that up, and Levy already taking a bit of damage. Might have been from the shock drone or just taking a shot.
Interestingly enough, it's not Astro on the Twitch.
Yeah, it's a little weird to have Gohan do it. We saw them do that last match, I think it was as well. That might have been the one against Liquid. It was interesting to see that switch up because, well, Astro plays such a good one, but he does play a good Dokkaebi as well, so Either way, still very effective between the two of them.
All right, Drunk's just waiting around here for information to start setting up his shock wire. Is the reason why you need a hole that is that easy to rotate through is because you want to be running in and putting a shock wire on the other side if you're so needed.
Yeah.
And there's no impacts really to play with here, so except for the Legion, and there you go. He has the 2 impacts, but he's playing in the landing, so he's playing a lot further back. So
there we go.
They're gonna rely on the bandit trick.
Ooh, they downed him as well.
Oh no! Huge kill here. Huge down. At least Levy will get one on to Astro, eliminating the Dokkaebi, but the work's been done. The site is open, and now they can peer in FaZe Clan and watch this site. Gohan and Slash trade. Unfortunate there for each one of them, really. Mav will turn it into a 3v3. Levy's down to half health. And you see gas canister thrown into Cameraman as he takes a half tick of damage. And Gohan will get thrown into the back. They know that there's a Legion that's going to try to rotate in from the hallway into the game or the aviation room. And Mav will get information on him. They're trying to bait that Legion out of position. There's 25 seconds left on the clock. Cameraman will face check into Levy and take him out. Moringa with one more. Last alive is Doki, as FaZe are looking to clean this game up. It's the diffuser. It's not set down. Does Gumine being taken out. Doki's completely flashed, and they're going to check him. They know where he's at. Cameraman says hello, and that's a pretty good finale of a picture there from Cameraman, and FaZe Clan will take the victory. And they put themselves up on how many points at this point? 14? I think they tie at the top level.
Definitely possible. It's hard to say without seeing the stats now, but
10, 11, 12, 13. And it was a tie to put a 14 for Liquid and 13 for Team 1. So we should be 13 here as well. So it should be a tie between FaZe and Team 1, but we'll get to see the round differential in between that. There we go. I am correct. Thank you very much, production. I always like hearing that.
You have moments. It's nice. It's nice though that FaZe definitely putting themselves in a good position, and that is why it matters so much that Liquid and the team tied earlier, because now FaZe
Liquid and Team 1. Yeah,
that's